With the release of Deadlock Protocol on PC, 5 hotfixes have followed. Those are 28.0.1, 28.0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. The changes, fixes, and everything have been compiled into their own categories, as you can see throughout the video. So for changes, the Iron Wake on Earth now features the Popcorn Test Mower next to Clem. Cephalite Resonance Tears and Neuronite transmissions will no longer occur during quest missions. Granum Void enemies during the final mission of the Deadlock Protocol quest will now drop ammo and energy. They've removed the ability to skip transition cinematics in the Jackal Arena fight due to it resulting in many broken states. They've slightly increased the radius range of the Corpus security cameras in the Corpus ship, as the cameras are too far away from the doors to actually affect them. The terminal velocity mod can now be used with the primary Finger Kitguns. They've tweaked the credit acquisition effect upon using a Granum Crown at the Temple Relief after your last Tenant Lore reward. They've noted that the Temple Relief will now show the last Tenant Lore entry when you have collected all of them and are receiving credits instead of lore. The Temple Relief will also award credits respective of the tier of crown used if you have collected all Tenant Lore entries. Transmissions and chat will now be hidden when watching quest intro cinematics in the codex. They've bumped the dead zone for controller analog sticks back to 20%. They've removed the unreleased Korra Deluxe animation sets from the arsenal, added Lotus voiceovers for when a Granum Crown has been used in a Golden Hand tribute. Improvements have been made towards color customization on the new Melee Mower Companion. DE have made it so Kubrals that do not have a collar cannot be equipped for missions, but they can now be set to roam the orbiter from the arsenal. DE also noted that this fixes not being able to complete the Hail of the Kubral quest. They have increased the visibility and intensity of the Corpus ship door lasers, and they've added a force field effect. They have smoothed out the colouring on the level up UI lens flare to be a bit less invasive with certain energy colours. Quests in the codex will now display the mastery rank requirement where applicable if you currently don't meet the requirement, and lastly, they increase the sparkle in Parvos' eyes in his transmissions. As for the Granum Void changes, DE have increased the Granum Void kill requirements with each player in the squad. Each new player will increase the kills required for each rank by 25. Players now have temporary damage immunity upon returning to the Corpus ship from the Void. The Granum Void will close when the rank 3 requirements are met. You will now gain Solara standing upon freeing captives in the Granum Void. The amount of standing gained is dependent on the tier of Granum Crown used to open the portal. Granum Crown captives will provide 100 standing, Exemplar Crown captives will provide 200 standing, and the Zenith Crown captives will provide 300 standing. Lastly, they added an effect to the Granum Void timer HUD when time gets added to aid in conveying the mechanic of increasing your time. Now for the Treasurer specific changes. The crowns dropped by Treasurers are now exempt from loot abilities. If he is within 35 meters of extraction, he will turn away and run to the nearest Golden Hand tribute to avoid dying in the extraction zone. And if the Granum Crown is dropped too close to the extraction zone, they will be teleported to a safe place. Lastly, they have fixed the Granum Crown waypoints not extending past its zone. Now, Primary Kitguns have received changes as well. This is just for the primary version of the Kitgun. So, for Catch Moon, the projectile's lifetime has been increased from 0.3 seconds to 0.42 seconds, and fall off has increased from 12 to 24 meters to 20 to 40 meters. The Tomb Finger's charge time has decreased from 0.8 seconds to 0.5 seconds with the Brush Grip. The charge time has been increased from 0.8 seconds to 1.1 seconds with the Steady Slam Grip, and the charge time has also been increased from 0.8 seconds to 1.4 seconds with the Tremor Grip. For the Gaze, range has been increased from 18 to 30 meters with the Brush Grip. Range has been increased from 15 to 26 meters with the Shrewd Grip. Range has been increased from 12 to 20 meters with the Steady Slam Grip. And range has also been increased from 9 meters to 16 with the Tremor Grip. For the Brush Grip, damage reduction has been lowered from -38 to -24 when used with the Catch Moon Chamber. Damage reduction has been lowered from -28 to -20 when used with the Tomb Finger Chamber, and damage reduction has been lowered from -6 to -2 when used with the Rattleguts Chamber. For the Shrew, damage reduction has been lowered from -19 to -12 when used with the Catch Moon Chamber. Damage reduction has been lowered from -14 to -10 when used with the Tomb Finger Chamber, and lastly, damage reduction has been lowered from -3 to -1 when used with the Rattleguts Chamber. Under the Jackal Changes and Fixes, DE have removed the unintended Riven Sliver drop from the Jackal when it's below level 41. The Sliver drop will remain if the Jackal is above level 41. DE have made fixes towards clients sometimes being left in the first stage of the Jackal Arena if you died or revived before the second stage. They have fixed the Parazon Jackal finisher not working if you revived after he landed into his stun or were using an exalted weapon or when you transferred to the operator. They fixed missing wall geometry in the Jackal Assassinate tile set the Wisp can Will-O-Wisp through and fall out of the world. They fixed being able to stand on destroyed pillar geometry mesh in the Jackal Arena. They fixed transmissions during the Jackal fight replaying multiple times, a script error when a pillar is destroyed in the Jackal Arena, and a script error during the Parazon finisher cutscene during the Jackal fight. For Nightwave Changes, DE have added respective letter clues to the Episode 2 ID badge and the clue in the weave. The chat window will now be hidden during Nightwave episodic crime scenes cinematics, and they fixed a functionality loss that could occur when falling off the final platform in the weave. For Railjack Changes and Fixes, general stability changes have been made towards Railjack missions when a host migration occurs. DE have noted that this touches on issues related to cruise ships not spawning after a host migration, and crashing when a cruise ship spawning triggers a host migration. They have also fixed a crash that could occur when destroying fighters, Railjack doors sometimes preventing you from moving through unless you move back and approach them again, and they fixed a script error related to scrapping Railjack wreckage. For optimizations, they optimized a UI thread validation and improved coverage. They implemented a new version of the frame rate limiter to fix problems introduced with the Windows 10 build 2004. DE noted that the new limiter should be compatible with all versions of Windows and should provide an even more consistent frame rate when your system can run at the max. They also improved detection and handling of cache corruption in key systems. Before getting to the overall fixes, DE made the following fixes to the Granum Void. DE fixed a script error after returning to the Corpus Ship tile set from the Granum Void after a host migration, a script error when returning to the Corpus Ship from the Granum Void after recently reviving, and a script error when entering the Granum Void. They fixed a spawn point in the Granum Void that could be exploited to force mass hordes of errant specters to spawn and be killed in rapid succession, being pulled into the Granum Void if a player opens the Granum Void and another player spends a Granum coin to rescue a Solaris prisoner in the Corpus Ship. They fixed a crash when being revived during bleed out while exiting the Granum Void, clients who join a Granum Void in progress not having their Granum Void UI, the Granum Void UI freezing or disappearing if you die and revive. They fixed the Granum Void's sub 10-second timers not showing the zeros upon exiting, the enemy count affecting the Exterminate mission's objective kill counts, and they fixed the AI in the Corpus Ship Exterminate tile set running to the end of the map after you enter the Granum Void. Now for the overall game fixes. DE fixed a crash that could be caused by a Riven chat link from someone who hasn't downloaded the update yet, a crash when certain update assets could not be downloaded correctly. They fixed launcher detection of DirectX 11 support on Windows 7 systems, missing operating system updates, the Granum Void enemies not spawning if under control by your Kuva Lich. They fixed the Corinth Airburst Altfire status chance stat UI displaying a value less than expected, Kuva siphons clipping into geometry in the Corpus Ship tile set, companion mowers appearing to flash red when shot at. They fix lingering red spark effects after picking up a health orb from Protea's dispensary until all players have picked it up, a script error when trying to auto-install mods on a Sentinel weapon, script errors when opening Samaris' offerings without having started the Deadlock Protocol quest, a script error that could occur when switching to a private message tab in chat. A potential fix was made towards a script error that could occur when a Corpus screen is activated in the Corpus Ship tile set, and they fixed a script error when casting numerous Warframe abilities. They also fixed the Jackal getting stuck in midair while doing its UFO attack, resulting in an inability to progress in the fight. A crash when attempting to skip the Jackal's second phase cutscene after a host migration had occurred. A crash that could occur when quickly selecting and previewing companions while not having any companions previously roaming around the ship. They fixed a crash that could occur during a bounty. They fixed entering the Granum Void with upwards velocity, resulting in flying through the ship into a void out zone, sends you back to the Corpus ship. They fixed the ability to sell the Stropher components for ducats, some fish bait not properly floating in the water, the Moa Drimper bracket using the same model as the Hona bracket when viewed in Legs' shop. Condor dropships in the Orvalis not moving at all, Hellstrom missing from the codex and an inability to chat link it, the Phantasma's secondary fire explosion not making sounds, the Velox jittering at the end of its reload animation, Protea's ability sounds not ducking when a transmission is playing, some broken lighting in certain Corpus ship tileset rooms. They fixed audio for electric sparks in the Jackal arena not ending when the effect expires, the Fortuna heist room music sometimes cutting out when getting briefed. They fixed sleigh bell audio for the festive orbiter decorations playing when viewing the codex, which could overlap with the quest dioramas. They fixed a container in the Corpus ship tileset that was missing its blocking volumes, some breakable grates in the Corpus ship tileset appearing as non-breakable. Fixes were made towards incorrect fog rendering when viewing skyboxes from your Railjack, a script error that could occur when interacting with a Golden Hand Shrine, when trying to claim a pet after previewing other pets in the arsenal, when receiving a buff from Chroma's Vex armor, a script error in the Provide Fish screen with Fisher High Luck. They fixed numerous HUD script errors that could occur when playing an interception mission, a few script errors that could occur when deactivating Titania's Razorwing ability, a script error when entering into the Granum Void, when making a choice in the weave, and they fixed the frame rate limiter in cases where the system was able to render at more than 1000 FPS. They also fixed a crash that could occur when loading into a mission, a crash when using Protea's temporal anchor ability, sentient cores not dropping from sentience, an inability for clients to spend a Granum coin at the Granum Hand tribute if the host had already used the exact same tribute with the same tier of Granum crown. They fixed primary kitguns crafted with the gaze chamber, having very slow ammo recharge rates when upgraded with the max rank PAX charge. They fixed Protea's grenade fan having a higher base duration on rank 1 and 2, and the durations are now all consistent at 10 seconds. Protea's temporal anchor path getting reset after throwing the Zorus, mods that give base damage not applying to Atlas's landslide. They fixed the Hellstrom dealing self-damage to the companion that it is equipped on, the Batacore having unlimited usage of the alt fire, some issues with the operator being destroyed when transitioning between regions in Railjack. They fixed Nezha's Jinzar helmet textures appearing very grimy, the UI backer on the Mastery Rank test complete screens being offset for anyone that isn't 16:9 aspect ratio, some overly aggressive lens flares in some tiles in the Corpus ship tileset, a case where the squad overlay would become unresponsive if you fail to join a host from the star chart UI. They fixed a script error when attempting to repeat the last mission, but that mission is no longer available. They fixed a script error when the treasurer cloaks himself in his invisibility, when casting Protea's grenade fan ability, when casting Titania's Razorwing ability, when casting Mag's Magnetize ability and Hildren's Balefire ability, and they also fixed a placeholder controller cursor in the menu options. They fixed critical hits not triggering for the glaive mid-air detonations, the Desicata Syndana appearing to float away from Nova, Saren, and Titania, a script error when initiating the Granum Void portal, when the Kubrau Neutralize Precept is used against targets that can't be disarmed via the rip-off limbs method. They also fixed a script error when trying to mature a pet while not having a currently active pet. We're now at the final hotfixes fixes for the game overall, which was 0.5. DE fixed the next weave platform disappearing when jumping off and back onto the bridge. They fixed Saren's Contagion Cloud augment toxic cloud damage not being removed if you leave the area of the cloud. DE noted that visually it will disappear, but enemies will still be damaged by the toxic cloud for the duration of the mission. They also fixed an inability to sell the Velox in your inventory, another case of where pressing LT on a controller would activate chat instead of aiming. They fixed enemies that catch on fire from Ember's Inferno, receiving a new Flaming Comet cooldown, and then starting a new instance of the ability, which would then lead to a chain reaction of rapid-fire comets in enemy groups. They also fixed the Tar Mutilus Mowers and Sapping Ospreys doing ridiculous amounts of damage when spawned at a high level. Protea's passive showing as 0 if you transfer in and out of the operator as a client. Casting Protea's Grenade Fan multiple times in the same spot causing the black particle effects to stack. They fixed clients not receiving the credit reward when using a Granum Crown in a temple relief after collecting all the tenant entries, the temple relief appearing multiple times in the same corpus mission, which resulted in a malfunction on the second interaction. Warframe specters running and spinning in place on a wall in the corpus outpost index level, cases where companion inventory slots were not counted correctly if you didn't own any Kavats or Kubrows, leading to the game giving you an error when you tried to look at your inventory, trade, or craft a new companion. They fixed pet sizes being applied and reflected when swapping in the arsenal. They fixed the Juggernaut having mismatching visuals for its stomp attack damage area. They fixed Riven's mod link and look link not functioning if they were linked after a different item first. Subtitle backers sometimes not always showing up in the UI, private messages to staff members failing. They fixed tenant lore fragment decorations appearing huge and off-centered when viewed via chat link, an inability to chat link the Stolter, Stropher, and Velox parts, an inability to chat link the new melee mower parts, numerous operator customizations appearing to have grimy textures, Wisp and her customizations appearing to have grimy textures, the Shy chestplate armor attachment clipping through Wukong. They fixed the Nykus mower description having old preset names. They fixed playing the incorrect hacking animation when attempting to hack a Corpus terminal with an active status limbo. Protea skin being labeled Protea instead of Protea skin in the arsenal. They fixed a script error that could occur in the Corpus Gas City Sabotage tile set when encountering the Cunning Drift security eye when a capture target goes down, and they updated the Kopenick and Pustral description to list their updated drop locations. That was 28.0.1, 28.0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. It was a long one, lots of fixes. Thanks for watching, see you guys next time, peace.